Hey everyone, welcome to Hooting Pie. Today let's discuss about the sun and its role in everyday stress management. How exactly this can help us in our daily life? Is it really effective? The science around it and what we need to do. Let's start with the sun. For astronomy enthusiasts, our sun is a yellow dwarf star that holds the solar system together with its gravity and have been in existence for nearly 4.6 billion years. The sun is a bundle of enormous amount of energy. An infinitesimal portion of this falls on our planet as light and heat, providing the necessary factors for life sustenance. Yet, despite its importance in the grand scheme of life, we often overlook the aspect it holds over our emotional and mental well being. Generally, we get reminded about our sun exposure or the lack thereof when once in a while we have a routine checkup, or after a certain age, we start getting conscious of our aching bones. The doctors then prescribe us with vitamin D and calcium supplements, and the topic ends there. We think that even if we have no daily sun exposure, it's fine as long as we take vitamin D rich food or supplements. In recent decades, we have been so concerned about UV radiations that the sunscreen industry have now become a multi-billion-dollar market, along with the supplement manufacturers. We can't underestimate the sun's control over our body. According to a WHO report, the diseases or conditions due to excessive UVR exposure only accounts for 0.1%, meaning it's relatively lower, versus the same report that states a significantly larger annual disease burden due to very low UVR exposure. This leads us to ask the next question. How much sun exposure do we really need? Not much actually. If we get a daily exposure of about 10 minutes, it's enough. People with darker skin tone might need up to 30 minutes. The amount of time varies mainly due to our melanin levels. Melanin protects our skin from harmful sun rays. Lower the melanin, paler the skin tone, and higher the chances of sun damage. That's the correlation. Of course, there are also other factors that determine this time period, like the climatic conditions and details regarding our location, such as latitude, altitude, etc. Vitamin D production in our body occurs in the skin through a photosynthetic reaction triggered by sunlight. And this vitamin D in turn helps our body in the absorption of calcium and phosphorus. That is integral for our bone health. It also lowers our chances of diabetes and hypertension. But sunlight is not just about vitamin D production. Let's see how sun works for our mental health. Do you remember looking out of your window during the winter season or heavy rain and feeling gloomy and lethargic? We frequently associate such grumpiness with being inactive and getting cooped up inside the house. But there's more to this. We actually didn't get the necessary dose of sunlight our body needed. You see, there are certain hormones and chemicals released in our body when it comes in contact with sunlight. These are vital for sustaining our good mood and health. Let's just take the case of two hormones to understand this. First one being melatonin. Melatonin is a pineal hormone that maintains the body's circadian rhythm. That is, it regulates our sleep-wake cycle. Melatonin is produced during dark hours and stops its production under the sunlight trigger. It's significant for better sleep, especially nowadays with the ascending cases of insomnia and related issues. Studies have shown early morning sun exposure can promote daytime alertness and improve the sleep quality at night. The next one is endorphins. They are our body's natural painkillers. It's a hormone produced by our brain and helps alleviate pain, reduces stress, and improves our mood. Guess what? Sunlight increases the levels of endorphins naturally. So let's just rewind quickly. Sunlight gives us increased focus and wakefulness during daytime. Quality sleep at night reduces pain and stress, also boosts our mood and feeling of well being. What else do we need for stress management? This year, a new report was published regarding obesity and metabolic disorders. It's quite thought provoking. They found that UV radiation increases appetite and prevents body's weight gain. Simply put, you can eat and still don't gain those extra pounds. Their experiments on mice proved that when exposed to UV radiation consistently, they tend to have normal diet to heightened appetite with no weight gain. Instead, they had increased energy intake. In scientific terms, they found out UV exposure raises norepinephrine levels, a neurotransmitter that decreases leptin levels and induces browning of subcutaneous fat, thereby increasing energy expenditure. Therefore, even with heightened appetite, it gets easily converted to heat and gets burned before they could get accumulated as fat. This provides new approaches in the prevention and treatment of obesity and metabolic disorders. So, what's the catch if sunlight is supposed to be this good? Well, it's about the amount of sun exposure and the intensity of sunlight. That's the problem. Because, as told earlier, it's different for all of us and varies with your location. Remember, UV radiations have different effects on our skin, from the detrimental ones like sunburn, photoaging, and skin cancer, to the beneficial synthesis of vitamin D and release of feel good hormones. Therefore, we do need a limited amount of sunlight, but at the same time, we can't pinpoint the exact amount either. Even though 10 minutes is enough, it's not a standard for everyone. It varies from 5 minutes to 30 minutes or more. Then, what can we do regarding this situation? Thankfully, a simple remedy for this dilemma is actually the time period at dawn and at twilight. That is, at the time of sunrise and at sunset, the intensity of sunlight is gentle enough that we can take advantage of the benefits without the side effects. It's mainly because the sun rays at this time have to travel a lot before they can reach you. So a lot of harmful sun rays get dispersed in the atmosphere itself. Research shows that the rising sun, as well as the reddish orange and golden lights on the sky during this time, has good effects on our brain centers and our overall well-being. Therefore, we can utilize this time period for our daily sun exposure. We can take a walk under the sun or just spend some time outdoors. Let's say 10 minutes after the sunrise and 10 minutes before the sunset. Of course, you can increase or decrease the time according to your location and altitude. The point is to nudge you towards the right direction. As we all know, stress have become a predominant part of our life and vocab in the last few decades. We may not be able to change this situation entirely, but what we can do is to invest a little bit of our time, daily and consistently, to improve our well being with the help of the sun. It's effective, simple, and healthy. We can all give it a try and find out the changes it brings to our individual lives. That's all for today. Let's meet again in the next video.